Welcome. Welcome, one and all, back to episode 91, I think 92, something like that, of the Just Gaming Podcast. This week we are discussing a lot, actually. Far more than I thought we ever would before. But a lot of games that have been revealed and shown, and that was me, not you. My batteries are low. So is my energy at this point. It's been drained out of me by everything that we've been shown over the last few days, but we're going to talk about it all here today. We're going to unravel the mysteries of the universe and lay them before you in a nice and organized pile, separating the garbage from the treasure. So sit, my friends. Welcome back. Yet another episode of the Just Gaming Podcast. Welcome back. Let me bring this down. All right, we're good.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
My energy is low. I need a nap.
Yeah, I need a nap. Yeah, I woke up like super late today. I was not expecting to like wake up so late. I wanted to get up earlier because I wanted to be able to catch that Xbox game show, but I was late to it. But it is what it is. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Welcome. Let everybody file in for a minute, and we'll do our whole thing. But nice to see everybody showing up. We got Timmy and Witch and Graph and Nano and Tigra, CHW, Dalinor, Maddie, Kaloa. What's going on? How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic Sunday. Hope you guys had a perfect week. I hope you guys had a perfect week, honestly. Mine was pretty good. I had
a pretty good week. Went to a work function deal for like the second quarter, and all the supervisors and managers, we went bowling on teams. And comes to find out, we all suck at bowling, but apparently my bosses are better than everybody else. So.
Do you know who's not bad at bowling?
Who's that?
This guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's got 3 holes in his bowling ball and is not bad? That guy.
Yeah. This guy right here. I went in. So back when I was traveling for construction work, one of the things that we would do on certain job sites is we'd start a bowling league on site. And that's like kind of how I got introduced to it, because like I did bowling in high school. Like I was on the bowling team in high school and stuff like that, and I always had fun with it, but I never like took it like, I don't know, seriously by any means. And then all of a sudden now you're hanging out with like all these like older folk that all they like bowling and golfing are like the two things that they love the absolute most. You know what I mean? Like they love going and doing those things. And then you start seeing, you're like, oh, I kind of understand why, because it's like they go and they buy like 3 pitchers of beer, and they they buy food, and everybody's joking around and stuff like that after work. And I got into it. Ended up getting a custom ball and all that stuff.
Yeah, I bowled over 100.
You start learning about wrist rotations and how to be able to put spin on a ball and stuff like that. And,
yeah, why don't you explain wrist rotation to me?
I've been working on it since I was like 13. So
nice. Yeah, no, like I bowled over 100 every game, so I was proud of myself, even though it's, like I said, it's pretty crappy bowling. So
100? Yeah,
that's like if we bowled over 100, everyone's like, woo, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a good time.
Yeah, I think I think the best I've ever bowled was like 250 or something. 250
Good
or 260.
Lord. Yeah. That's some amateur. That's amateur league.
Dude,
almost professional.
I felt like I was Goku going Ultra Instinct, because it was just like I would go up and I would just be like strike, and I was like, I turned around and people were like, oh my god, and I'm looking at them like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
This
really
isn't even my final form.
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now. I'm like, why do I keep doing this? How is it a strike every time? What is this? But yeah, that's cool. It's cool.
So what'd you play this weekend or this week?
What have I played this week? I obviously Warframe. We're gonna talk a little bit on that. What else? I recently got a key to play Wayfinder, so I'm gonna be playing that probably after the stream a little bit, or I'll play it on. Maybe I'll play it on. I'll play it next week. I might do a stream of it and play it in front of people and kind of give my thoughts actively on it. I'll let you guys take a step behind the curtain. You know what I mean? See what it looks like when I'm experiencing a game for the first time and how I'm coming to the opinions that I have. It's a really interesting story with that game. So I'm interested in playing it, seeing what it is. And then I also have the opportunity to talk to the developers as well. So I'm going to take advantage of that as well and try to get some try to, I don't know, do something interesting with it. It's an odd story with that game.
It is an odd story. It's been I played a lot of games this week, man. Body Cam Body Cam came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels more like a horror game than it does like a team shooter.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Probably because of like the camera positioning.
Yeah, and then I finished Ghost, all of it, DLC, the whole kit and caboodle. So I finished that.
Cool.
But this has been a big weekend of games in general, though. I watched a game show every day this week.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Weekend. It is crazy.
Yeah. What else? Did I play anything else? I've been playing a little bit of Calamity mod, T-Mod loader.
Oh, that's
a little bit of Terraria. Yeah.
Yep. He's playing a little bit of Terraria, adding to his 4,000 plus hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's time to do that. You know what I mean? Well, I don't have any of my save files. All my stuff was gone, so it's like, well, I got to start from scratch again, and here I am starting from scratch.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that they they've done a lot of updates to Calamity since the last time, because like the last time I played it was with you, and we did like we didn't do a full playthrough. We did most of it.
I think we did. Yeah, we did most of it.
We did most of it.
I think is what was it? The that snake bot, the one that's like the asteroid robot centipede boss.
Yeah, well, that was one of them. That was one of them, but there was a few other ones that have been added ever since then. And then a few other things too that we didn't even get to when we were playing it, just because that mod is like, it's literally its own game. It's not even, you know, I think the mod for Calamity is something like 75%, or maybe even, it's probably not even 75%. It's probably more than that. It's probably like 3 times the size of the game of like standard Terraria. It's fucking crazy what they've done.
Yeah.
I've also now been exposed to the magic that is magic storage, and oh god, it is the greatest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Well, yeah, you explained to me like for 30 minutes about magic storage. I was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, well, no, like, you know, like, you've played Terraria with me.
Yeah.
You know how anal I am about like storing things, and how I want to try to keep storage, like, you know, as organized as possible to be able to make things, and not like. One of the most annoying things, like when you want to make something and you're like constantly opening like 100 different boxes trying to find the stuff that you need, especially when you're playing something like Calamity, which has like multiple world phases, and each phase has its own materials that you need to use to make different things, and sometimes you need older materials from like pre-hard mode or hard mode, and it's just like, yeah, it gets out of control really quickly.
It's probably why you haven't played games with me in a while. Chat, this is what I like to do to Ian in any game that we have. It kind of storage.
Yeah, I had Jax. Jax was playing with me, and it was the same. Like I was fighting the urge to bitch, because every time I would open something, I would find like some random materials in there, or like a weapon inside of the potions case, and I'm like, why?
I fucking love it. Oh, it's so good. Dude, I can't remember what we were playing.
Like I think it was fucking triggering me.
I think it was Raft. It was that Raft game. And you had made all these storage chests, and I just like went and just put shit wherever. And then you went over there to make something. You're like, why is there a rock in here? Why is there a rock in this one? Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's one of the reasons why I hate playing survival games with other people, because I'm just like, I want everything in a specific place, and if it's not in that place, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
So fun. It's so fun. It's so fun.
but yeah, so magic storage solves that entire issue. Now literally, people that have no no need apparently for organization can literally just hit a deposit button and throw everything they have in their inventory into storage and then walk away like nothing happened, and it's perfect because I can find everything that I need, and I can it's really nice. It's super nice actually.
I still have other games.
Yeah, I loaded up a little bit of Monster Hunter World actually. I was running around playing that a little bit.
You know what? I think I need to. I think we said on the last podcast that I need to play the game with you just to play the game, I guess.
Yeah, so the only thing that makes it really different, like I wouldn't mind playing Monster Hunter with you. I have no problem at all doing that. I love playing Monster Hunter. The only problem is that like on certain hunts, it's not all of them. It's only on your story. So there's like story hunts that you have to do in the game. And the one thing that like most players hated the most was that the only way for you to be able to join people on those hunts is after they saw the cutscene that was in that hunt. And sometimes that cutscene doesn't come until after you've already like gone into the map, tracked the monster, triggered the cutscene, and then you can put up a flare and allow people to be able to join you. It was really, I don't know why they designed it like that, but it won't be like that in the next game. They've already kind of recognized that was a major issue. But here's the thing. It's just those hunts. Everything else is fine. Like any of the other side ones that you're going to do. You know what I mean? But it wasn't the most like seamless co-op experience. But keep in mind, Monster Hunter World is like 6 or 7 years old or something like that by now.
Yeah.
It's it came out a long time ago.
Long time ago. Ancient.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what's crazy
well
about
within
that?
Remake. It's well within remaster era right now.
Oh yeah, for I mean, if it was a Sony game, yeah. You know what's crazy? I saw this the other day. Monster Hunter World right now, as we speak, unfucking real. There's nothing going on in this game right now. There might be an event. They might be doing something a lot of people don't realize is because like a lot of people will play a game and then they won't come back to it. But Monster Hunter World, ever since it was released, they've always still done collab events. They constantly are doing collaboration events. And the nice thing is that you can always go back and replay them. So even if that event is over, I'm pretty sure you can go back and replay that event. They've done them for like Devil May Cry. They've done them from all kinds of different games. I think they got another one that's going on right now. I don't know what it is. I have to look to see. Monster Hunter World collab. Check news. 20th anniversary collab. When Monster Hunter's weird 20th anniversary collab aren't hitting. Okay, if that's coming from the gamer, I just immediately don't believe it. They did a Final Fantasy VII collab recently.
Oh, okay.
So you can get like Cloud in game and Zack. So like that's pretty sick. You know what I mean?
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But so just to put something into perspective, Monster Hunter World right now at this very moment has 104,000 players playing on Steam.
Yeah. I mean, it picked back up once they announced Wilds, didn't it?
No. I mean, they had an event back in like December. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they had an event back in December. Yeah, they had an event back in December. But I mean, you got to think like right now, like you have like Destiny 2 just had their expansion come out. PUBG just had a big update, so people are going back and playing it. You got people playing Rust. People are catching back up in Elden Ring. Elden Ring's up to 95,000 players right now on Steam. Concurrent. Baldur's Gate 3 still sitting at 90,000 concurrent players.
That to me is one of the more amazing ones. I'm sorry, it just is. Just for the style of game it is. It just amazes me.
It's how big the game is and how good the game is. It's the reason why people keep coming back to it. That's all it is. That's literally all it is.
To be honest with you, a couple of weeks ago, I got the itch. I was thinking about doing another run through.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was really putting it off and waiting until we got the mods, the integrated mods, and like up and running, like kind of what they have for Divinity. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait.
Nixie says I think World is showing more replay value than Rise. You know what the thing is that like I don't know what it is, but for some odd reason, like Monster Hunter Rise just kind of rolled off of me. Like it's not that it's not good, it's fun. I like it. I think that it's maybe it feels like a boss rush more than anything else. Like World is a much slower game. So it feels a little bit more like an adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel like a hunter, like an actual hunter. But
I don't know. I thought Rise, like, because I've played both of them, not like extensively where I beat 300 hours in each one. But, Rise felt more like the 3DS versions of Monster Hunter games.
Because that's what it is. It's the mobile version.
Yeah, that's kind of
not mobile, but it's the portable version.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah, so I think Monster Hunter World is like the one that really finally came through and like differentiated itself from the rest of the Monster Hunter franchise. Because a lot of the other Monster Hunter games, I think a lot of people probably passed on because they view them all as like portable games. Because you have to keep in mind, like Monster Hunter got most of its popularity through portable. It was its 3DS versions, its PSP versions. Like those are the ones that like really, really ended up popularizing the game in Japan before it really like crossed over into the US. I mean, the game it did decently here, but it really wasn't until Monster Hunter World that it like became like a massive like global phenomenon. And I made a video recently. Sadly, it didn't really resonate too much with too many people. But one of the things that I think is really interesting, not like in a negative way. It's just like
no, it's just like it felt like it's not what you intended. It just, to me in my head, it just sounded like you guys didn't watch my video. That's just how you explained it. I liked it.
Yeah. No. It's one of the really interesting thing with Monster Hunter World is that. I just don't know exactly. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what the reason is why that game ended up resonating the way that it did. Because like think back and it's like for that game to reach like 25 million sales or 23 million in sales or something like that, and the games before it to only be like 6 million is crazy.
It is crazy.
And the thing is that you immediately then see after that initial jump of Monster Hunter World, you just see all of these other games, like all the other Monster Hunter games then after, do far better in sales than they ever have before. Even Monster Hunter Stories, the like Pokemon kind of esque like Monster Hunter game, even that one jumped up and like got 6 times the amount of sales than its previous title.
Was it the platforms, having it on multiple platforms other than like Nintendo?
I think that also has I think that has something to do with it as well. Because like they changed the way that they were putting like where they were putting the game. The game wasn't multi-platform before, and then also at the exact same time, I don't think it was on Xbox either. Not until all the ones after Monster Hunter World have been on multi-platform. So I think that's been been really cool.
Yeah, because I think World was the first one that went multi-plat. I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah. Well, right. and the thing is that like I do really think it's going to be a massive factor in the success of Monster Hunter Wilds is the fact that not only is it going to be day one Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, but it's also going to be fully cross-platform or fully cross-play.
That'll be a little interesting. That'd be very interesting. I wonder how that's going to work, because it's already hard as hell to just team up with people. I was talking to somebody at work that's a huge Monster Hunter fan, like huge Monster Hunter fan. And I was like, yeah, I just wish they would, just Japanese developers in general would, just make co-op a little bit easier. And he was like, it is easy. I was like, I had to look it up. If I have to look it up, he's like, no, it was easy. You just do this, 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 and this. I was like,
it's one of those things that
instead of just that weird.
It surprises me how little people talk about how often Japanese developers make matchmaking the most difficult thing I've ever seen in any other. Like, it's so unintuitive in comparison to like how easily matchmaking's done in any other game. Like, it's so weird. FromSoft multiplayer, thank you. Yes, exactly. And they're not the only one that does that. They're definitely not, like another really what was that other Souls game that we played, or a Souls-like game that we played? The anime Souls-like. Code Vein.
Yeah, Code
Vein.
Yeah, Code Vein.
That
one,
yeah,
that one.
Like,
was
same kind of thing
either.
with that. Like for some odd reason, I don't know why, but they always try to like reinvent the wheel when it comes to matchmaking. But
just
yeah.
Just make it simple. Just invite. That's it. Hit accept. Good to go. It's weird.
Yeah. So yeah. Outside of that, I haven't really. I'm playing the same stuff that I have been playing for a while. I played the new War.
Did you finish it, or I've been watching it in tids and bits. It was my favorite. So it was my favorite of all of them.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. Okay, so which story mission are you on now after New War?
I haven't picked which one I'm going to do yet. I haven't started anything else. Okay. I finished New War. The next two quests that it's showing me is Whispers in the Walls and Angels of the Zariman.
Okay, both of those are super dope too. So I mean, it just gets better. Like New War for me, like kicked off I'm really like starting to like dive into this story. It was pretty nice. Yeah.
I'm still like doing my best to like try to gather my thoughts on New War in general. It is crazy how frequently Warframe has subverted my expectations and then does something that not only I didn't expect from Warframe, but then also at the exact same time, I haven't seen other games do either.
I think, man, a lot of it's like it's personal. Like my opinion on it is like when the first time I ever played Warframe, it just didn't hold me very long. I'm talking just a couple handful of playthroughs, right? Just because it was just the nodes. That's what the game was. It was just these nodes, very linear, just whatever. And then we get talked back into going back and trying it, and it's a full 180 from what it was. I mean, you can tell from the content from start to finish that they didn't start getting like they found their identity like 6 years later. You know what I mean? From when they started. And they started to put in the story of this main story narrative, and they just hammered on it and improved on it. It's super, super impressive what they've done with this game.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like now I kind of understand like a lot of the discussions that I've seen around the game ever since I've started playing it. Or like I understand like why people are so excited for the future of the game. Because you really don't know, like they get a hint obviously of like what they think is coming, but outside of that,
I have no clue, dude.
No, because like
it's always a loop. Every one of those stories, I'm just like, what? Like this is like so like left from what I thought they were doing.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to say it. Like the thing is that like I realize people keep talking about 1999. They keep hinting at it and talking about it and saying that, oh man, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for them to see like the trailer for it and all this stuff. And like after seeing all the things that I've seen so far with the game, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. You know what I mean? Like the crazy thing is with the game is that like I honestly. This is one of the first times that I've seen a game that I don't know how they're going to evolve it in the future. You know what I mean? Looking at looking at Destiny 2 in comparison, right? Because it's the most comparable title that you can put against this one, right? There's nothing else that's out there that you're going to say, is going to be the closest comparison that you have. From my perspective, Destiny 2 has not evolved at all.
No.
Destiny 2 is not evolved at all. It's the same game. Like, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of the stuff is cool. I think that, there's part of the story beats and stuff that I really liked in the game. But, like, Warframe is a game that has constantly evolved itself far beyond what anybody would, far beyond players' expectations. This is a really weird thing for me to say, but, like, more than we deserve. Like, not necessarily, like, I don't mean it like that. Like, I don't know how to, like, put this. Like, the thing is, like, what they're doing with this game is so special. It's so special, and it's so crazy that not very many people are talking about it. like just even the idea of just throwing in like space combat and doing railjack, and I realize like people have conflicted opinions about railjack, but like doing something like that, or
not everybody's
worlds,
like everything.
Like or throwing in open world areas, or I'm trying to think. There's other things like Call of Duty.
Love it. It's the best franchise of all time.
No. Call.
Oh, Call KAHL.
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy that you get from doing New War. Yeah, like he has his own thing you can do every week, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So you know like your drifter's hideout?
Yep.
Like the place on Earth that you can go to?
Yeah.
So if you go there, Call is there.
You know what? I did talk to him.
That's Veilbreaker. Right. Yeah. After you do Veilbreaker, you unlock you unlock what people lovingly call Call of Duty, which is you go and you play as Call and you run these missions once a week, and it's like spy missions, kind of, not really spy missions, but it's like undercover missions with puzzles and stuff like that. It's cool. It's interesting. It's engaging. It's not typical Warframe content. It's not you in a Warframe. It's you taking control of this Grineer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like the game is just so damn daring, and it's so interesting, all the different things that they do to try to move the game forward in a really like holistic way, because like even though a lot of the things that I've been exposed to in the game so far, like I would imagine a lot of other games they would feel kind of disconnected. Everything feels so connected in this game. Yeah, no matter what you do.
And that, like, so your comparison with Destiny 2, that's my comparison is even with the story. It's so, with Destiny, it's so disconjointed because they tried to branch off so many different ways with different little like subplots and this and that, all the way along the way to push this one simple narrative of the Traveler versus the darkness, right?
Yeah.
And it just like gets lost in the weeds because they just got rid of it. They just cut a lot of that content out, so it doesn't make sense anymore. So like where this game, it's all there. Like it's all there for you to play and experience. You're gonna enjoy Zariman.
I'm really I think one of the other things when it comes to Warframe that I'm really surprised by is like how for as long as the game has been out, even though the narrative itself is relatively complicated, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of like crazy shit moving parts. I haven't had too tough of a time putting things together the longer I go. You know what I mean? And like the narrative itself, for being something that was not supposed to be in the game from the start, right? It was not like they didn't design the game to have a narrative. Yeah. Right? That wasn't in the playing cards when they first started making the game. It was something that wasn't
in the plans for sure.
No, it was something that they added into the game after. For something being an afterthought, it's so well thought. It's so well thought out. It's so well put together, and it has like solid continuity. You know what I mean? Like
that's where they succeed better than Bungie did, because all of their branches they go back to interweave around the main story, to where like Destiny's just branch off, and that's where it's at. It's just branched off. It's not a part of the main story.
Yeah. Well, and then that's when they get into like, you know, for Destiny, chances are like I'm really wondering if Destiny 2 really is going to be. I wonder if this last expansion really is the last expansion.
I think so. I think they're going to make Destiny 3. To be honest with you,
alternate reality.
Yeah, Destiny 3.
Start the timeline over again.
Yep. There's wizards on the moon.
They're gonna do like I wonder if they're just gonna do like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You know, parts like how parts. Well, I mean, I don't think you haven't watched all of JoJo, have you?
No.
So in part 6, at the very end of Stone Ocean, they basically have concluded the entire series at that point, and it starts a new universe in which like the Joestar family, which is the one that you know has been following through the entire series so far, like everybody's new. Because nobody lived through the last timeline, so it's like there's another series that's gonna start. They're gonna I think they've already started the manga, but they're gonna end up having another animated series. It's called Steel Ball Run, which is gonna start a brand new arc, and it's going all the way back into like the 1860s, which I think is like near the same point in time that the first that the first JoJo started. If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, but like I just see, I could easily see like Destiny doing something like that, where they're like, okay, so I don't know, we'll do like a continuity timeline thing, end the timeline, just start a new timeline over again or something.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like what existential threat are you going to be able to create for a Destiny 3?
Who knows?
You literally just had light versus dark.
Yeah, you did. You know, they could go to a completely different solar system, do something. But yeah, you know, they
but we're already talking about like Destiny already has like reality ending.
Yes.
Reality ending threats. So it's like where are they gonna go after that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of really good things, by the way, about the new Destiny.
Dude,
expansion.
I have two from the people who play it at work and my future son-in-law. But like they're all Andes. So I don't know what to you know what I mean? I haven't really been looking at, you know, what people, you know, like the creator community's been saying about it, because the people that I talked about that still play the game, they're Andes. You know, they love it. They love
Yeah, they're in it.
There's no they can't see through the trees. So
but I mean, if everybody out there's saying that it's good, and here's the funny thing is that like the people that love Destiny the most are also the people that hate Destiny the most. So I feel like those would be the people that be complaining about it the most right now, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I plan on picking it up. There was just other stuff on my plate. I guess what I told one of the people at work is like, I've got better games to play right now. I'll play it here after when I run out of stuff to do.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. Like I want to play it, I want to experience it, I want to talk about it, and it sucks that I'm gonna end up probably being behind the ball when it comes to content around it. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, I want to play Destiny 2, and I realize that there's like some people that have been like, ew, Destiny, especially like the Warframe community is like, ew, Destiny. I get where you're coming from, but I need to play Destiny again, to like better understand the contrast between the two games.
Yeah. But no, that's fair.
Because I do want to. I do plan on making a comparison video. Oh my god, I bet nobody's ever done that before. But I need to play Destiny to make that comparison.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's 100%
I haven't
fair.
played. I haven't played it since Witch Queen.
You haven't missed much, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you see how I do that? I come in when it's hot and it's good, and then I leave when it gets cold, right? Because everybody was like Lightfall. So
Lightfall, yeah, it's pretty bad.
So yeah. Anyway, so that's been really good, man. I've been really surprised by it. I mean, you should see my reactions to like when I took control of a Grineer, and then I took control of a like each one of the other factions, and then you play as Teshin.
I thought that was kind of cool when you switched over to the Corpo, and you had to like use the drones and stuff to activate the plates and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of fun.
This it actually brings up something that I brought up in one of my videos, or no, not one of my videos, but it was just in a general conversation. And I was like, dude, I'm like, I don't understand why they don't like, because I realized like Warframe's PvP is like garbage, right? The Conclave apparently is absolute trash.
Oh, I haven't even tried it.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, it would actually be really cool if they just had a PvP mode that was just like Corpus versus Grineer, or like, you know, like you could take on, like, play as the other factions in like 6v6 or 7v7 or whatever you want to do, right? Because they already have the class archetypes in place, and they already have missions where you play as them to begin with. So it's like they even have UIs ready. You know what I mean? Like they already have so many things in place already that they could just try it to see if players like it and if players resonate with it, and then kind of go from there. You know what I mean? And just like obviously you have unique rewards that are tied to it and things like that. I think players would actually really like something like that.
Yeah. Well, like the reason I haven't played Warframe's multiplayer is the same problem that I have with Destiny's multiplayer, or any multiplayer that has it's an ability based multiplayer. It's just near impossible to balance. It just is. It's just near impossible to balance. Like and then if they did balance it, hopefully, you know, Digital Extremes would do a better job than Bungie would have, like nerfing shit for PvP, but not, you know, PvE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, as like ability based, just when you have ability bases, it's damn near impossible to balance
Well,
it
I mean,
to
when
make
you
it.
have like what Warframe has like 52 or 53 or 54
Yeah,
Warframes, there's another one that's going to be coming. Like the ability to like try to balance all of those
that's
and how those are
insane.
going to enter. Like yeah, and on top of that, like some of the frames are just absolutely like cheap as fuck, right? Like
Yeah,
do you imagine like trying to fight a Dante? They could just keep putting up overshield, overshield, overshield. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Or fighting like even like the new one that they're going to be putting into the game, Jade. I saw like the trailer for her to like see what she was going to look like, and or like not the trailer, but the Warframe showcase that they had, and it's just like, well, this is like who would want to fight against this? You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah, just any of them. I mean, like yeah, it's just there's no way to balance it.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, it's been really good, man. It's been really good. It's a little bittersweet that we're coming to getting already caught up with the game.
Yeah, I've kind of, not that I've fallen off. I still hop on to do my Archon and stuff like that. But I'm waiting for you for Still Path. To be honest with you, to run it.
Yeah. No, I mean, don't
run the nodes with you.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like that's gonna be a whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
is like figuring out Steel Path and like whatever other like current what we would classify as like end game systems that Warframe has. And playing that stuff, but it's just a little bittersweet getting closer to having everything complete. You know, it's weird looking at my screen and seeing that there's only like 3 quests left right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't get me wrong. Like, there's another quest that's going to drop in 9 days. You know what I mean? So it's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. Another one's going to get added to it. But yeah, it's gonna be really really cool. It's gonna be really cool. Yeah. Let's see here. What else? So looking at talking about, we've already talked about the games that we've been playing. I think it's time to talk about the games that we're going to be playing.
Yeah, right. Good.
So
gravy.
Let's obviously the Xbox game show was the best show out of all the shows, right? Yeah. So I'm not gonna jump right into the Xbox one. We're gonna wait because I want to talk about just the other shows in general right now and some other things that I'm kind of seeing that's going on. What were your thoughts on Summer Games Fest?
Summer's Games Fest, it's weird. Like, if you're gonna watch those online, turn the chat off. Because like anytime they show, which I'm kind of sick of it too. I'm kind of sick of the artsy fartsy indie side scroller walking emotional.
Holy shit!
They're all the same game.
The amount of like pretentious millennial cozy games,
dude.
Oh my god!
But the community as a whole, I saw some of the most awful things said, like the most awful things said in chat. So like it's crazy.
Really?
But as a whole on the show, I just thought it was kind of, like nothing like really, like I already knew about, Wukong, I knew all that stuff. So like there was nothing that was shown to me that I was just like, holy crap, I got to go out and buy that. I got to put that on my wish list now. It was none of that for me on that show.
The only thing from the Summer Game Show that I liked or that I was really interested in was really it was just more Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, we had just saw that on the State of Play. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like,
so that actually I brought this up. I talked about it with I talked about it with Asmongold actually, because he was talking about it on a stream, and like one of the things that I think what we're really noticing is that now that PlayStation has their own show, Xbox has their own show, Nintendo has their own show, E3 is dead.
Yep.
Well, as a result of this, everybody else is going to be and like, it's just going to be indie games. It's literally just going to be indie and AA games. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No,
but the thing is that I think from a viewer's perspective, while it's really nice for us to be able to be exposed to a lot of these titles that otherwise we wouldn't have seen, a game show that is, 40 minutes, a game show that is 40 minutes long is a game show that's like 40 minutes long or an hour long or whatever it is going to be pretty boring for a lot of people to watch when it's all going to be indie games. You know what I mean?
It is. And like I said, indie games they've gone like it's a mix. It's either super zany, wacky, super cool, or it's this like emotional roller coaster of a game, right? And so it just felt like a lot of the samey type stuff over and over again. I remember I was watching I think I was watching your stream of the deal as right after the awards, because I think you streamed it. You said that holy shit, AAA gaming's dead. And it surely does feel like that after you watch the State of Play and then you watch the Summer Games Fest. It feels like AAA is in like super big trouble. Like they're in super big trouble.
Yeah, because the thing is that when you look at it, like they had nothing to bring to the table. Capcom was the only one that's been stealing the show when it comes to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And everything else that we saw on Summer Games Fest kind of proves that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And like they had nothing to bring. And what that makes me think is that either A, their games are too far out, or B, they're scrambling to figure out what they're going to be doing for their next games.
That, and I think a lot of your bigger companies, like for Xbox show, we're not going to talk right into it right now, but they showed almost nothing but AAA games, right? But so they held all their stuff back. They didn't like share stuff into the Summer Games Fest. And then you have Ubisoft's doing their own shenanigans, so they pulled some of their stuff back. I imagine EA is going to do their show again, so they're going to pull their stuff back. So it's not they didn't not everybody shared with Keighley like they have in the past.
Yeah.
So
I guess my whole thing is the reason why I'm bringing this up in the first place is because I just don't think that like Summer Games Fest is going to have like much of a reason to be around, and if it's going to be anything, it needs to rebrand itself to just being like an indie game fest, and that's pretty much about it. Because like he's not going to be the one. Here's the thing. One of the other things that I didn't bring up either is the fact that like both Xbox and PlayStation, I don't think Nintendo does this, but I know Xbox and PlayStation do. They will buy the marketing rights for these games that are coming out, even though they're not console exclusive. They want to buy the marketing rights so that they can market those games on their platforms.
Well, you got the Black Myth Wukong, okay? When they ran the ad, or they ran the whatever, the CG, and at the end of it, it said PS5 and PC and PS5 and Steam. That's what it said.
Yeah.
And then so your Xbox fans went to Twitter and they were like, "What? The game's not coming on Xbox," and the game has been delayed for optimization for Xbox. But it looks like if you're just the just a layman gamer and you watch that show, you're like, "Oh well, I need to either play it on PC or PS5," right?
Yeah.
So smart. It's smart marketing.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, think about it. Monster Hunter Wilds is the same thing. Monster Hunter Wilds is their marketing rights have been purchased by Sony. That's the reason why the Monster Hunter Wilds trailer first showed up on Sony's State of Play.
Yeah.
So, even more so, you're gonna see less and less and less of these. Thank you for like I don't know what's
Jax.
Yeah,
get them, Jax.
No, I don't know what's going on Twitch. There's like a bunch of fucking weirdos that are showing up in chat for some odd reason. But yeah, so I don't know. Like the thing is that I originally thought that Summer Games Fest was going to be the replacement for I thought it was going to be the replacement for E3. You know what I mean? At least for game trailers and whatnot. But now with the separation of PlayStation, State of Play, and Xbox and Nintendo having their own shows, I don't really know if Keighley's really going to have any reason after this year to want to do another Summer Games Fest. I'm going to be interested to see, because here's the thing though. He is getting paid by these developers to get a slot on his show in the first place. We know that because we actually saw multiple trailers multiple times because somebody paid for extra slots.
Yeah.
Because they wanted their game showed more than once.
Xbox's showcase, even though it was still under the SGF banner though. So they did it in concert with Summer Games Fest. So
did they?
Yeah. So if you look at the top of their screen, it said, SGF Xbox Showcase. That's what their waiting screen was. So, but yeah, Sony was like, "Fuck it, we're going first. We're going to go a week early," and then which I don't know if that really works out for them all that well, because Microsoft had a really, really good show, and it's also the freshest thing on your mind because it was the latest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
It was smart of them to do theirs last.
yeah,
Yeah, it's smart to do it was smart of them to do theirs last. However, I think that there's going to be less viewership when it comes to I think there's going to be less viewership when it comes to some of these other shows now as a result, because like even I was watching like PC Gamers PC game show.
Yeah, it was
right.
Not good. Yeah,
not good.
It was not good.
Summer Games Fest was like as mid can be. Yeah, it was
Vanilla.
very, very mild.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else.
State of Play. Sony
State of Play was kind of a flat note as well.
Yep.
I mean, Sony State of Play actually worked against them more than it worked for them, because they showed off too many other studios games that weren't Sony studios. They didn't show off enough exclusives, and the exclusives they did show off didn't resonate with their audience as much.
Yeah.
Competitors or younger audiences and personalities that Jeff are emerging to, like OTK. Yeah, actually, Solness, you're actually right. So the one of the things is that I think that some of these other smaller shows are probably going to resonate a little bit better, because I think they're curated a little bit more. OTK's game show, where it's like Asmongold and his whole crew come out and they present a bunch of indie games and stuff like that. But they're the ones that I think picked those games to be on there. And like, I'm sure some people are paying for a slot to be shown, but at the exact same time, I think there's some of those that are like just straight up picked by the OTK people, to kind of curate it. Because what I kind of noticed is that like there was a really there was a tonal difference between OTK's game show and like some of these other shows. Like not only was OTK not only did OTK did a better job of like presenting, but they also had like better indie games to show, which is really interesting.
Yeah, well, the people that they have talking, are used to talking. It's so like so noticeable. It's like when Keely brought out that one streamer, or I don't know what they are. They bring them out, and she's like, "Oh, I want to do that. That looks fun." I'm just like,
bro,
oh
I don't know
God.
what it was going on with IGN yesterday, and then also Summer Game Show with that random girl that they had. Like,
that's
they
what
picked
I'm
up,
talking about. Just like
they picked up all of these like random people that I have no idea. Like, they're so awkward in front of the camera. Some of the yesterday they were doing this like tier list of like unknown video game characters or like lesser known video game characters, and it was so weird. It was so awkward. It was such a massive waste of time that it's just like, bro.
Dude, what about Jeff Keighley like promoting Young Yao's voice acting in this new game? Like, this is Young's new voice acting gig. Haha, here it is.
He's doing everything he can. That's like, it's one of those things where, earlier this week I put out a video that was talking about like the death of video game journalism. And I you know what the funny thing is that it's like, after I put out videos like that and I think on a subject, sometimes I'll put that video out, I'll rewatch it myself, and then all of a sudden within the next week or so, I see different things reflected in like what's going on in the industry that I wish I talked about in that video, but hadn't realized at that point. So like a really good example of this is like looking at like the IGN show, looking at even like Summer Games Fest. One of the things that I'm noticing is that like these journalists and the people that are in the upper echelons of the gaming industry genuinely have no fucking clue who their audience is or how to resonate with them anymore. They don't know if they don't know if they're trying to appeal to kids. They don't know if they're trying to appeal to adults. They don't know who they're trying to appeal to. They're trying to appeal to everybody, but the problem is that when you're doing that, you're actively not appealing to anybody at all. I remember like people were talking about like, man, remember the dark days of the video games, video game awards and stuff when they had like girls in like bikinis and stuff up on stage.
Bring that back.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying to bring it back, but what I am saying is like at least they had like somewhat keyed in on an audience that they were trying to appeal to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like in this case, like this is just so like weird and cringe and like off the wall that it just doesn't make any sense when you're watching it and you're like, bro, nobody's going to want to watch this. It's reflected in a lot of the viewership numbers to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't even think they know who they're trying to talk to. And also one more thing before like just the end of the rant on it. the thing is that in Paul Tossi's article that he put out, where he's talking about how a lot of these companies or a lot of these journalists are losing their jobs, one of the things that he brings up is like how like these journalists that are losing their jobs because gamers are fighting against them and they think that they're progressive leaning, and that what else? They gamers are also fighting against the journalists because they think they favor one platform over another, and the general consensus opinion from most players is good. Screw them. I don't care about them. They get what they deserve. And he says that's really disheartening to see that. But then at the exact same time in the next paragraph, he talks about how a lot of these people are fleeing journalism and they're getting into public relation. And it's like, what fucking sense does that make? Wait a minute. You already have problems resonating with an audience. You already actively fight against audiences to begin with. You right now demonize that audience every chance that you get in social media, right? Like, oh, look at these sexist men wanting good-looking video game characters. Look at, like, trying to point out every single problem that you perceive in the industry, and that problem ends up being the actual players themselves. And now those people are going into public relations? What in the fuck? How are you going to do that job? You already don't know how to resonate with an audience or understand them, and you already see them as the enemy. So now you want to get on the position where you're supposed to be helping the studio to be able to resonate with those audiences better and reach out. Yeah. No wonder we're seeing companies that are out there that have community managers that are treating the players like shit.
Yeah. Which I thought, I don't even know what to say to that. I thought all of the games, it was like a trend, and I think it's a trend in the, like, I didn't have any issue with it, but it looked like the majority of the games, they've moved to women for the protagonist, and except for the troglodyte that is the Fable game, the rest, they all look like normal, like beautiful women, like how you're supposed to make a strong heroine. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
And then you got the unibrow square jaw in Fable. So yeah, I think it's a really good job. I think it's a really good thing, to be honest with you.
Here's the thing is that like I originally was like kind of like I was turned off by Fable, but chances are Fable's going to be fully customizable, right?
Yo, no, 100%. You're going to make
like
your character.
Whoever that character is probably not going to be like, that's not who you're going to play in Fable. So like whatever, they're going to portray the game and the characters however they want. But at the same time, it's going to be fully customizable, because that's how it was in the other Fables, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you make your own character.
Yeah, you make your character. You're making your Fable. Like, she's just the placeholder for their cinematics.
Yeah,
which is fine. But still, it's rough.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with it. Was there anything else that you saw from anything outside of the Xbox game show that that interested you? What was it?
I watched the Future Game Show, or Future Games game show, or show. Anyway, it had Tifa's voice actor on there, and
also Arthur from
Arthur from Red Dead. And they did I think honestly, because all these shows like that, they have some sort of like awkward, cringy humor between the two.
They did the same thing. They did the same thing last year with Karlach's voice actor.
Yeah. And this one both of them, it came off more natural. It was actually, they did a really good job. So I wasn't upset with that. But there was was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games off of that I are looking to put on my wish list.
Anything of note?
Nobody Wants to Die was one of them. Big Boy Boxing.
I knew you were gonna want that. Yeah,
dude, it's fucking Punch Out. Yeah. Parcel Corp, I thought looked really cool. That was the one where you're a bike messenger, but it's like Jet Set Radio.
Okay, I saw that one. Yeah,
BMX. The Relic looked pretty cool. Eternal Strands looked pretty cool. Let's see. And First Dwarf. I'm not real big on like tower defense type games, but that one looks kind of cool for like a survival.
Yeah, I think the only one out of the ones that you listed was No One Wants to Die. That was a survival game, zombie survival, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of a different one?
I think you're thinking of a different one. Nobody Wants to Die was it was like a Japanese-esque.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Future Game Show had a couple of things that were like, they look interesting. We'll see how they come together. I think they also showed another trailer for Abiotic Factor, and I really want to play that game. I'm actually really surprised at that game for like one. It's like popping off right now. It's overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that's kind of crazy, because it seems like a streamer game, like nobody's fucking streaming it. Like the game right now on Twitch has 171 viewers.
It's either a good thing or a bad thing, right?
It's just a bad thing. If a game is not being watched on Twitch, that means that A, people don't know about it, or B, nobody's interested in it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but I know people are going to be like, "Oh, it's not all about It is actually. It is almost always about streaming. Like it's another metric to show like how many people are playing and interacting with the game. And games that are popular end up getting streamed. But that's not saying that it's a bad game, by the way. It's just, it sucks. It's concerning that it's not being streamed. It should be. It should be. It's not about streaming, but it's a reflection of interest. Yes, exactly. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It is a reflection of interest, of like general, and I don't know if this is interest or if it's exposure. I don't think it has enough exposure. Honestly, I wish I was big enough that it would actually matter if I streamed a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If I streamed Abiotic Factor, I'd probably be like the top in the directory. But I mean, you know, we'll see. But I'm interested in it because dude, I love survival games. And then also, it looks like, I think a lot of people said that Abiotic Factor is basically like Half-Life 2 if Gordon didn't, if it wasn't Gordon and instead it was the scientists that had to save themselves.
Yeah.
And that seems really sick.
I did read a comment in the not our comment section, but in the video section, and the person, what they were making a comment was, I think it revolved around the Fable character and just the inclusion part of it and all. Like if every game maker would make it to where it's like Baldur's Gate, or per se, where you can make whatever character that you want to be. You know what I mean? Like that then you don't have to have this, you know, Twitter fight of people of, well, they're just pushing this agenda. They're just play the game. You know what I mean? Like you can make whatever character you want to be. It's crazy. It's video games, people. Not pushing agendas.
Dude. I'm probably still gonna end up talking. I don't know. I mean, I'll talk about it now, I guess. So I don't know if I liked it or not, or if I kept it. But there's this fucking tweet that I saw, and a bunch of people in a discussion where after they showed the trailer for the Quidditch game, somebody, like a bunch of people on a bunch of fucking Twitter heads pop up and they're like, "Oh, it's another game for the TERFs." When did 10-year-olds become TERFs?
Dude.
Like it's a fucking video game made for children, and people like, "Oh, here's another game for the people that are against my social cause." And it's just like, are you fucking they are actually insane. You are actually losing your fucking mind at this point. I was so blown away that this was even a discussion in the first place, and other people were resonating with that discussion. And I'm like, how are you like this? How do you open your door every day and see nothing but fucking enemies? Like, we need padded rooms. We need to bring them back. We got to bring them back. I don't know what else to say. Like, internet is driving people crazy. I was never more blown. Like, just because it has to do, like, it's derivative of somebody's work, that you disagree with that person's point of views on certain things, and now all of a sudden you're going to demonize anybody that ever plays or is interested in games that are derivative of that work in the first. Like, it's just so weird, man. Like, and like the Quidditch game is quite literally a game that's going to be made for kids. It, like, you see the gameplay, it looks boring from an adult perspective, because it is going to be boring. And you know what that means? It's probably because it's a game that's going to be played by like 10 and 8-year-olds, because that's what its target audience is for. Especially like, you looked at like the design of the characters. You saw like the art style. It's kids. Yeah. This is for kids.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm like,
wow.
I don't get it. I'm sorry, man. It's one of the reasons why I avoid like a lot of like social political discussions and stuff like that, I'm just like, I can't engage with it because the people that you try to talk to about this kind of thing, like they don't see reason anymore. They just don't see reason.
They can't though. I mean, that's where they get to let all their vitriol out, is in the internet. So
yeah.
They can't yell at their boss like that. You know what I mean?
They never would. They would never even yell at somebody in public unless they were in a group of 30 people.
Yeah.
And wearing a mask. So I'm just fucking. I'm just telling the truth.
You're towing that line. You're towing that line.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, I don't get all that, man. It just is what it is. Did you see anything else other than the Xbox showcase that piqued your interest?
No.
Oh, fair. Okay, move on.
Not really.
Moving on.
I watched like Summer Games Fest had really nothing that interested me outside of Monster Hunter Wilds, and yeah, that was pretty much it. Man, I did see the interview with the people that are making that Starship Troopers game. Man,
dude, did they miss the fucking bus on that one?
How much must that fucking suck? To be like, hey guys, get really excited about our
Starship Troopers co-op game that came out 4 months ago. That's called Helldivers 2.
It is 16 player. It is 16 player co-op. It is 16 player lobby, so that part's kind of cool, right? That part's kind of cool.
Dude,
but it doesn't even look close to the quality of Helldivers 2, nor does it have the flexibility or any of the things that make it interesting. That I just don't think people are going to really resonate with it. It's just not going to be. It's like.
Oh, you know what? He is right. Mecha Break. They showed that on the Summer Games Fest.
I originally thought that was a Gundam game. It does look fucking sick though. It looks really good. Did you see the second trailer?
Yes, the one they showed for the Xbox trailer. Yes,
where you could actually you turn into jets and stuff.
Yeah. I'm Starscream, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all about it. I think that looked really good. I think that looked really good. A lot of
fun.
I like seeing somebody like step up to the plate with a mech game, especially following Armored Core 6. So I think that's really cool.
I still need to pick that up.
All right, man. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's time to talk about the.
My wife has lost a lot of weight, dude. That is so rude of you.
That's fucking. Oh my god.
That is so rude. I'm gonna have to shut this down.
Let's talk about Summer Games Fest. All right,
let's do
or
it.
not Summer Games Fest. Let's talk about the Xbox showcase. So the first one that they ended up showing off was Call of Duty.
Okay, so initially when the first thing they showed was Call of Duty, I was like, well, my god, fuck my life. Then I watched the sizzle reel. Then I watched all of it, and they do what they do every year. They pull me in a little bit.
Yeah,
they pull me in a little bit, and then they said, oh hey, it's going to be on Game Pass day and date. Did you see all of Phil Spencer's cheap shots when he was doing his little spinny talk thing that he was doing? Where he's
so fucking awkward in front of a camera. He does these like really odd, like we can tell you're reading a teleprompter pauses because he's just like, we are really looking forward to you guys playing Xbox. We have a lot of new games that are coming. I hope you'll play. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing, Phil?
Yeah. So the cheap shots that he took this was the first time that Call of Duty has been on the Xbox stage in 10 years. It'll be the first time in 10 years that the game releases on all the platforms it's going to release on at the same time.
Yeah, everyone's they're taking jabs at fucking Sony.
Yeah, they're going to get the same content at the same time. They're going to get the expansions at the same time. All of it's at the same time. So I thought that was pretty funny. I'll check it out because it's on Game Pass and I still have it for some reason. So
I haven't had Game Pass in 6 months now, I think.
Yeah. Well, you haven't really missed anything, to be honest with you.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. If for any reason I ever resub to Game Pass, it's because I'm broke and I can't afford to buy all of the games, and I probably don't want to buy all of the games, so I just want to like try them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's watch Phil Spencer, the little man dwarf, pop up here.
Yeah. So
tell me he does not look like a dwarf. Tell me he doesn't look like a dwarf. Look at his arms. He's got little T-Rex arms, big thumb head, same size as his neck.
Why do you gotta attack the guy like that?
He can't hear me.
Attack the guy like that.
He can't hear me.
Maybe he's watching this afterwards.
Look, I like the camera that's spinning, and he's just like,
I don't think is he and the camera spinning at
Yes,
the same time?
yeah,
How is he
yeah,
doing that?
He's on a platform that spins.
How is he doing that? So
Magic.
so Call of Duty's coming back, or Black Ops is coming back. It is who is it? Treyarch and Raven.
And Raven, yeah.
So we'll see how this one does. I'm sure it's going to do just fine. I'm really interested to see what it's going to mean for Game Pass numbers. I'd imagine it's probably going to do pretty well.
I think I'd imagine it'll do pretty well. Like I said, Call of Duty isn't massively huge on PC. The actual game itself, the proper, not Warzone. And I'm curious to see how that's going to affect their Game Pass numbers.
Yeah. So what? Oh, man, the one thing is like when I see them say like Bethesda presents, and I'm like,
I thought it was Elden.
It makes me feel so weird. Like it makes me feel so weird because it's just like, yeah, but this is id. This isn't like I get that Bethesda owns id. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna talk about this now, just because I'm gonna bring it up. So I think Xbox stole the show. I think that they showed a lot of really great trailers. We're gonna talk about some of those trailers and some of those games. But one of the problems that I have is, and this is like what makes me feel really conflicted when it comes to Xbox and when it comes to like this whole trailer and the whole showcase and everything like that, is that like the dialogue has shifted automatically, right? Immediately it has shifted. It shifted from just a couple weeks ago where Xbox closed studios and Xbox, is putting Call of Duty on Game Pass, and they think it's a move of desperation, and Xbox games haven't really resonated with audiences. And we look at some of the failed games that they've had released and the games that just haven't done as well as we thought that they would. And then now all of a sudden Xbox shows a couple trailers and people fucking pog out of their minds. And now Xbox is back, baby. But the thing is that when you start going through this, and this is where my personal conflict comes with Xbox and what they've done within the industry, which is that you look at what they've created themselves, and you look at specifically Xbox Game Studios games, and I'm not talking about the companies. I'm talking about everything that was here was dominated for the most part. There's a couple outliers, but everything that was here was dominated by studios that Xbox has purchased, not anything that Xbox themselves are creating. That's what I have an issue with. That's the problem. That's the thing that makes me feel really conflicted, is because, these games look awesome and great, but also at the exact same time, like, what the fuck did Xbox have to do with any of this other than writing the check and buying these studios and taking those studios out of the market?
Yeah.
That's not to say that these companies wouldn't have sold regardless. Obviously, they were selling themselves. It wasn't a forced purchase by any means. Yeah. But the thing is that when I'm looking at across their library and everything that Xbox has done for the last decade, just having one showcase of a bunch of really cool games does not somehow erase the last like 10 years of being a fucking, nothing.
Yeah, but no, that's fair. I mean, I look at all the Bethesda stuff. I look from Bethesda purchases or from Bethesda forward as like non-Xbox. That's how I view it. They created the coalition. They created the initiative, which is the Perfect Art makers, right? So those were homegrown studios that they built. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it is what it is. Can you play a little bit of that Doom music? Just a little bit?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't trust trailer music. My live stream where I reacted to Summer Games Fest got demonetized too. A lot of the companies use like generic tracks that are claimed already. But so, I mean, that's just one of my only problems with it, man. It's just that like the thing is that it's like, yeah, this is cool, but it's one of those things where people start claiming it's an Xbox W. And while it is, because Xbox is the one that's, they are publishing these games.
Yeah, that's the final pocket.
At the same time, like I feel that takes too much away from like the individual studios that are actually making these games to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just like part and part. That's how this, part and parcel. That's how this works.
So any interest in this game? Doom,
yeah,
Dark
of course.
Ages.
Are you kidding me?
I thought it was kind of cool that they left them in the Doom armor and just like put like fur and shit on the back of it. Like, like I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously it looks sick. So I think this is supposed to be like a prequel. So this is like when they first deployed him or something like that, I guess. I'm not really too sure this, because they said before he was fighting demons, he was fighting for gods or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think this is really cool. Obviously it looks like it's gonna be fun and insane and just an awesome shooter in general. But yeah, I mean, I liked the last one, obviously. So,
dude, that was a big robot. Yeah, no, and the music already sounded really good.
Yeah,
it sounded really good.
Yeah. I think that one's gonna be.
I was pretty excited about that one.
Yeah.
This next one, not so much.
Oh yeah, that was State of Decay.
Yeah, State of Decay. This is one of those.
Really, you're not looking. I actually was kind of looking forward to State of Decay a little bit.
Serious?
Yeah. Why?
Have you played the first two?
No.
They're terrible. Terrible.
Why are people looking forward to it then?
Dude, not every game's made for everybody, but there's always a niche amount of people that like something. You know? I'm just saying.
Somebody's gonna come at you from the fucking comment section on this.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
they're coming for you.
So this is one of those studios that needs to watch out. Hopefully, this game doesn't tank, or Microsoft's gonna sell them off. That's all I'm saying. They're gone. Gonskis.
That's honestly, that's the other thing too that I was thinking about, man. Is it like I was watching some of these trailers? It's like, especially when you see, they close down, they close down those studios. Just, we're looking at like, Tango Gameworks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, like any of these games, maybe outside of Activision Blizzard and Bethesda, like we look at them and like, man, this looks sick, and it's like, yeah, but if it doesn't make the money that Xbox has, stapled to like how much that game needs to make, if it doesn't bring in the amount of people into Game Pass that Xbox believes it needs to, then that game and that studio is on the chopping block just the same as anything else. Yeah. The crazy thing is, it doesn't matter how much we like the trailer or how good we think the game is. If the game doesn't produce on the side of, from their perspective, it doesn't matter regardless, right?
Yeah, which is so, I mean, we've talked about this multiple times. I mean, it used to be the standard for a game being hyper successful was like 6 million copies, 6 to 8 million copies, and that's like hyper successful. And now everybody's thinking they're going to sell 20 million copies of a game, and that's just not the case. It's just not.
Well, and so this is one of the problems that I have, right? Is that like looking at some of these games, looking at some of these smaller studios and things like that they have that are putting out, what look like to be some pretty solid titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that like say Call of Duty brings in an absolute metric ton of players into a Game Pass, right? Okay. I'm sure it will. Of course it will, right?
It will.
That's the reason why they're doing it, is because it's a guaranteed success for Game Pass.
Yep.
What does that mean, and how do you measure the metric of success for all the other games that come out after Call of Duty? Right?
You don't. Yeah, like it's
so it's like, how do they know? Like, do they just see how many people that have Game Pass play that game, and they go, okay, yeah, that one was worth it, or and then plus on top of that, like it's weird because like the more content rich you make Game Pass, the harder it is to justify some of these smaller titles.
Hey, someone just asked if this was live.
No, it's not.
Okay. Carry on. No, like you're 100% right. Like it's overshadowed. Well, I mean, Xbox has been doing this for a while though. They'll say how many people, how many hours have been played, how many people have logged into this. That's their metrics now. It's not how many total game sales they have. It's how many people made a character, how many people played this many hours, they've killed this many enemies. That's how they measure shit.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because it's like I guess I'm just trying to figure out how they're measuring their success rate for some of these games, especially when you start putting some like absolute haymakers that are gonna really skew those numbers. Mm-hmm. Because like, just as an example, you're gonna have a ton of people that are gonna sign up for Game Pass just to play Call of Duty and not play anything else.
Well, yeah. Well, people buy consoles just to play Call of Duty and nothing else.
Exactly.
I mean, it's
exactly
like that's that community.
And like, and by those players existing, they are going to be throwing off all of the numbers for everything else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, just using it as an example, like Avowed is not a game that is going to appeal to that Call of Duty audience.
Mm-mm.
Right? So like, and by comparison with that huge amount of players existing now on the Xbox ecosystem within the Game Pass ecosystem, you are skewing the numbers when you're trying to average out and see how many people on Game Pass are interacting with this product specifically. That's the point that I'm trying to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're diluting your numbers by adding, let's I don't know, we'll throw a random number out there and say like 2 million players. You're throwing 2 million players into the Game Pass ecosystem that are not going to interact with anything other than that. They're not going to count those players out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I think there's going to be some cross-pollination though. Like there's going to be some people that want to, like, what they're going to do. There's going to be cross-pollination into other games, but if they add the older Call of Duties on there, they're going to get more people. Even if they're just coming there just to play Call of Duty, they're going to have multiple Call of Duties to skew or cook their books with, if that makes sense. So
yeah, but it's one of those things, especially when they do like their investor reports and everything, is that it's going to be like, oh my god, there's, I don't know, 10 million players playing Call of Duty on Game Pass, but only we'll say there's like 10 million active players on Call of Duty, but man, this State of Decay 3, it's only got like 500,000. We shouldn't make any games. That studio probably shouldn't make any more games. We probably shouldn't make any more of those games anymore. That's what the investor perspective is going to look like, right? Like they don't care about the why or the how. They care about how much money, and that's about it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've got to recoup that. Let's see, between Activision Blizzard and Bethesda, what would they spend? $100 billion total between the two. I mean, they've got to recoup that. So it's just what it is on that part of it.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm ready to talk about the one that it's not that I'm the most interested in. It's the most interesting one that was shown. Do you know what one that is?
Expedition 33?
No, it's actually not.
Did you pick Dragon Age?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. When you start this, and because I already told you, like the way the art design looks, so they've changed, and the way that they introduce these characters, it looks like they're making a hero shooter or a looter shooter. It looks awesome. It looks like a looter shooter.
Shut up!
I'm just saying. It looks like they turned Dragon Age into a looter shooter.
No, okay. So here's the thing. I want you to think about that trailer from a different perspective. Okay. And it's a perspective that I don't think anybody realized. Okay. So looking at the trailer that they showed for Dragon Age, which now they've changed the name from Dragon Age. And here's the thing. There's also a reason why they changed the name too, and I can already see it. It's actually really transparent from a marketing perspective, right? So that now what is it called? Dragon Age Veilbreaker? Veilguard, right? Yeah. Okay. Dragon Age Veilguard, right? And then they do like the character intros. It's kind of witty and it's funny, and it looks just like the trailer for Honor Amongst Thieves D&D.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
You see it now?
I can see it.
You see it now?
Yeah.
Yes. It looks just like the movie. It reminds me of the movie trailer for Honor Amongst Thieves D&D. So I would almost guarantee that midway through development, I don't know if this game's going to be good. And I would actually roll dice and probably bet on the latter half of saying that it probably isn't going to be good. Okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because their switch from what was it, Dreadwolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, their switch from Dreadwolf to Veilguard, and the tonal shift as well that we saw from like some of the things that they had originally shown for the game back when they were first talking about Dreadwolf, and that massive tonal shift tells me that right around the time that Honor Amongst Thieves came out, this company and EA probably came down and saw like the popularity of Honor Amongst Thieves and said, "Hey, we need to change this. We need to make this more about, humor and, the light side, and make it like trying to make it like a more inclusive D&D experience. You know what I mean? Trying to like thematically make it like lower stakes, maybe. Because it doesn't seem like a very high stakes. It seems like a very like fun and fresh, Dungeons and Dragons universe kind of game. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of when I watch this trailer. I know people are like, oh, it looks like a hero shooter. It looks like this. It looks like that. No, man. Like, I'm getting the vibes of a game that is supposed to reach a wider audience, or supposed to attract a wider audience than Baldur's Gate 3. Because Baldur's Gate 3 looked like a serious game. Right?
It did. I mean,
its trailers, it is a serious game in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
But this does not look like a high stakes. This does look. I get what you're saying, like the hero. But there's somebody I also saw that said like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Veilbreaker or something like that, and I'm like, no, like dude, I am totally getting the vibes of Honor Amongst Thieves.
We'll see. We'll see what they do. Like Bio. But
by the way, like this is how the game is good. This is how the game is gonna look. Like how the characters and stuff are gonna look, because this was rendered in engine. There was no gameplay here, but this is how the character and the artwork is gonna be.
We'll see. BioWare's got a little explaining to do since Anthem, so I've kind of put them in the.
They've also lost a lot of people since Anthem. They've also lost a lot of I don't even know how many of the original people are still at that studio since, like, what was the last really good BioWare game?
Mass Effect 3 probably.
Yeah. How many of those people are still there? Probably not very many by now.
No. They're probably none at all, but still, like, you're going there. They didn't change the name of the studio, so I still have to hold it to BioWare standards, even if it's not the same people.
Yeah.
Just like you would expect every McDonald's to serve you the same burger. You know what I mean? Just because there's different workers.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I don't have like the most I don't have the most faith in it, but it is one of those things where I'm sitting there thinking to myself, and I'm like, man, I'm wondering if they had a because that would make a lot of sense, because they went quiet for a really long time with Dreadwolf. They haven't done really any promotional content. They haven't talked about it at all. That's not a very EA thing to do. They usually overshare. They usually give out a lot of information on their games. And I think one of the reasons why they didn't do that with this is because there was probably a shift in development halfway through the development of the game.
Yeah, I think, from what I remember, I think I've read several articles about the game just being in developmental hell from the get-go. So it doesn't surprise me that they've completely changed the narrative and direction that they're going in. But it's still like just the way they introduce the people. You can see what I'm saying, though. It looks like I
do. But but the thing is, like, they did a very similar thing with Honor Amongst Thieves, where they kind of like paused on the character and like introduced the character and stuff. Like it's kind of showing that kind of vibe where they're trying to move it towards that kind of more like hokey, almost Fable-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the witty Fable, kind of cartoony, yeah. So I don't think it's not going to be Dragon Age Origins.
No. Which
or
is
Inquisition.
Or I like the Origins. Inquisition I didn't care for too much, but I did like the first two.
More family friendly. Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like it's going to be more family friendly. Yeah. Yeah, which, I mean, hey, the funny thing is, we can say everything we want, but at the end of the day, it's whether or not the game comes out and actually delivers. I think that they're going to turn off a lot of the existing Dragon Age audience. Wholeheartedly.
Well, they're probably looking for a new Dragon Age audience.
That's a really good point. They're probably not interested in trying to develop for the original Dragon Age audience. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. They also showed off DLC for Starfield.
Who gives a shit? You know what? Granted, I'll give them your face. I'll give them credit that they at least look like they're trying to do something different than what the initial game was. I'll give them that. But yeah, no. Yeah, I already know what the gameplay feels like. I'm good.
I'm sorry, man. I just think the vast majority of the audience that you would have initially attracted is already gone to begin with, and plus on top of that, it's not getting the mod support the same way as as other. Bethesda,
It is too. It's getting its creator tab. That's what they said. It's getting the creator studio.
Actually, hold on. So check this out. I felt like Lisan Al Gaib in this moment. Okay. So way back, I made a video that was talking about how Bethesda doesn't fix their games, and when they do put out their games, they just let the modders fix it, and they've been relying on that for so long that they don't know how to, like, you know, really put a game all the way together as they should, right? Like, Bethesda's known for bugs, right? Buggy Bethesda, right? They're known for these janky ass games, but they've always been great from the perspective of the player, because it's kind of like it's like wholesome, you know? It's like wholesome jank, but now all of a sudden that's not so wholesome for players anymore, and they're not really into that whole kind of thing.
It's not cute. It's
right?
not cute anymore. Yeah.
Now, and on top of that, you've already seen a mass exodus of the modders from Starfield, right? A ton of the biggest modders that have been known for Elder Scrolls said that they don't want to have anything to do with Starfield, because they said it's crap. Like, the game sucks. The game itself is boring. There's not enough there for them to work with, for them to want to make anything great out of it. And I'm really interested to see, like, how much this expansion, like, brings people back, if it changes the tone of the game. Is it, you know, like, how far into the game do you need to be able to interact with this kind of content? You know what I mean? Like, do I need to play through the entire game to be able to get to this? Because if that's the case, like, that's a fucking problem. But one of the things that I brought up in my how Bethesda, you know, takes advantage of its modders, right? Was I read in their terms of service how there was wording for microtransactions, and I brought it up in a few live streams and stuff like that around the time of Starfield, or you know, Starfield at the time as well. Which is, there you go. I saw in their terms of service there was wording for microtransactions. There was wording for premium currencies within the game. And then all of a sudden, within this trailer, they flash it just for a real quiet, like, look at all this new content. And you can also buy content. There it is. That's why I felt like I was seeing the fucking future, baby. This is what you get for reading those terms of service. So now you're going to be able to buy different things in their microtransaction store. Most of it, they say, is going to be it's verified creators, and then they have featured creators, and then, you know, obviously Bethesda is getting a cut of that. This is how they make mods available to people across all platforms, guys. The best way to be able to make it, you know, accessible is to make you pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Bethesda needed to make money wasn't to be purchased by Microsoft. It was to have you be the Roblox for them.
Yeah,
you can do it. You can do it, guys.
Yeah. So they're opening up their and what they do as well is they'll actually take mods that people have already made, like free mods that people have out there that people already use. They take those and then they change them and they make them their own internally.
Yeah.
They'll have you submit a mod to them, and then they'll make the mod their own and then sell the mod, and they'll give you a cut. That's how they do it.
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
Homer, they sure as shit did do it with Skyrim. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, isn't it fucking great? Oh, it's so great. Oh man, can't you wait?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Todd's gonna be Todd. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, we'll see how that does. I don't think it's gonna bring anybody back. I saw also they're gonna be doing an expansion for.
See, I don't even understand. Like, okay, like their main story. The main story of this game is that you build this machine. It lets you go into a alternate universe to where you do the same thing over and over and over again. It's the game loop. So like I don't understand, like if you're the, what are they called, the star something, whatever, wasn't that
Starborn.
So you're the Starborn. So
completely
now
original idea, by the way.
Yeah, it really is.
Nothing like the Dragonborn.
No, it's novel.
Literally nothing. Okay.
No,
nothing like it.
It's not. So I'm just like what DLC do you add into that? Because you could just go to an alternate universe and it's the bad guys aren't there yet. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make, I don't know. Whatever. Narratively, I think the game sucks. I think it sucks horribly.
This game for the story was so fucking terrible. It was dry as shit too. Plus, on
That's
top of that,
bad.
for being an RPG that's supposed to give you like choice, it has it severely lacks any real choice.
It
at
had
all.
choice, yes or no. That was your choices.
Yeah.
Yes or no.
Yeah.
Choose.
So okay, so this is the game that you are interested in.
Yes, Expedition 33.
Yeah.
It's given me that vibe of it's like the cool turn base, you know, it looks like it's got like the parrying and stuff that we like from what game was that back in the day where you could block shit.
Well, I mean, back in the day, even Final Fantasy 8 and 7 had mechanics where you
Grandia?
could hit buttons.
Yeah.
I mean, Grandia wasn't really like turn. I mean, Grandia, you would pick your action and then you could move around, or no, you could move around while you were waiting for your turn.
Your turn. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks super dope. And I know a lot of people aren't big on turn-based
games, yeah.
but this one looks really cool. And the story
I'll be honest.
cool.
I actually really like the art style. I also think that the turn-based combat does actually look really good. The other thing that I really like as well with this is that they're like pulling like the UI, the like action-esque UI designs from like a Persona game, and they're that's like one of the things. Like, I'm not somebody that's like, I used to love turn-based games. It's all I ever used to play was Japanese RPGs and turn-based games. I literally would never play anything else. And then I had played a Persona game years and years later and was like, oh wow, this is actually really cool. And it more or less actually had to do with the UI design more than anything else. It kept the game really engaging, even in those fights. Also, autoplay helps a lot too. You know what I mean?
It does.
Autoplay helps a lot too. But no, this looks really cool. It's engaging. You can like get like perfect strikes and stuff like that for extra damage. And I think that the I dig the art style. The combat style looks really cool. The UI looks really sick. Whether or not the story is actually that great or anything like that, we'll see. But
if it's that engrossing.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of looked story wise looked kind of cool. I guess there's this main antagonist that can basically take people's lives, like their lives, and add it to her own, so she can live forever. And you're fighting back to basically take back the wheel of fate.
I'm really happy that I didn't watch this live. Just to talk about, like, there's two of the trailers that Xbox showed off that I skipped, and I'm so happy that I didn't watch it live so I could skip it. One of those being like, this is one of the games that they had shown off before, and I don't know what is up with these developers that want to do this like these 3 FPS cutscenes where it almost looks like stop motion.
Yeah,
but like it makes me nauseous. Yeah, Wallace and Gromit, exactly. Like, it makes me nauseous seeing this, and I don't like it. It just, there's something like super unsettling about that. Like,
it's
that
how
cutscene style.
This is how this studio is not going to get closed down. You know why?
Huh?
They did this so that it will run on the Xbox Series S. Don't have to worry about frame rates. It's running at 25 frames per second.
Yeah. I'm not hating on the game or the characters or anything like that. It's literally, I'm literally just hating on like this weird cutscene, like jittery, 2 FPS style, like Wallace and Gromit shit. I'm not here for it. There's something about it that just, like, it's really unsettling for me to look at. And I'm not.
Yeah, why me and Ryan were watching this, he had the same issue that was making him nauseous. Like, he couldn't, like, it was giving him issues.
Spider-Verse look, yeah, kind of Spider. Yeah, that is actually kind of like the Spider-Verse. Yeah. They also showed off more Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
Yeah, the voice threw me off.
Is it not David Hayter?
I don't think so. The voice, I don't know, it just threw me off.
I didn't pay attention to the voice. I was paying more attention to the gameplay and stuff like that more than anything else, because I wanted to see, like, he also doesn't like look like,
no,
for some odd reason he doesn't like look like Snake from Snake Eater. Now I realized that was a PS2 game, so I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it still is David Hayter. Like, you can't not use David Hayter for Snake. Like, he is Snake. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's my favorite Metal Gear Solid game. One of the things that really bothers me though is that, like, why wouldn't they do like Sons of Liberty? Why wouldn't you do Sons of Liberty first?
Because Sons of Liberty was played on, wasn't Snake Eater like a PSP exclusive?
No.
It wasn't.
No. Snake Eater was a PS2 game. Snake Eater was like end of the PS2, like close to the end of the PS2 generation.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it was PS2. Yeah. I love Metal Gear Solid. But with that said, it's just like, and like, even though I love Snake Eater, like it is my favorite for sure. It's my favorite because it had like a lot of really cool mechanics and stuff like that in it. But like Sons of Liberty was so iconic.
Yeah.
And Sons of Liberty is what like really got a lot of people into wanting to play Metal Gear. You know what I mean? Like that's what really like built the universe for it. Now, what's nice is that Snake Eater is technically a prequel.
Yeah, that's what Joe Homer is saying, that it's the first chronologically.
Yeah, chronologically it's the first, but
maybe they are going to do that.
You think so? You think they're going to do
I mean, they're like, hey, Capcom's doing it with Resident Evil. Why don't we do it with Metal Gear?
You know what it is? They're like, we're not gonna do this the Kojima way.
Yeah, right.
We're not like, because Kojima was like wanted to like release the games in like in a non-chronological order to like tell the story in a very specific way. And the thing is that I guess my problem with that is it actually like how convoluted those releases are with like there's a few prequels that are thrown in there, and then there's ones that are actual sequels, and then there's like non-direct sequels as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though like that's kind of part of like the of like trying to like shroud the information. You know what I mean? Like it's part of the intrigue of that series. But now they want to tell it like a book in order,
like an actual story, which would be great because a lot of Kojima's games, even outside of Metal Gear, they're just kind of like hard to follow. Some of them are just hard to follow for like dumbasses like me.
Okay. I was hoping you were going to qualify that by not saying something tasteless. And I was so like, what the? You're about to talk shit about fucking Metal Gear? Like that's like one of the greatest games ever, like one of the greatest game series ever made.
Okay.
I fucking love Metal Gear. You know, one of the reasons why I really like Metal Gear is because it was like, I don't think that there's like a lot of studios that are out there that are like daring enough to tell a story like Metal Gear.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Because like a lot of studios and bigger publishers probably view like a game and a story like Metal Gear as like very problematic. Very problematic. It's like one of those things when I looked at like you know, like Helldivers 2 as an example, like not very many studios are going to make a game with a story like that, or you know what I mean? Because they don't want to like turn off certain audiences that are out there that might get triggered by those things.
Coffin says the word you're looking for is absurd.
Sure, probably. So then they also ended up showing off the one game that I thought that everybody thought that they weren't going to show off, that they thought was canceled, which is Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect
Dark. They changed the way she looks. That's for sure.
Yeah.
From the
did they? I didn't notice. What did they do?
She used to have dark hair and like violet colored eyes.
Okay. Well, maybe she just looks different for like this part of the game that they're showing, or is this a permanent? I thought she had orange hair. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think she did.
I thought she was always a ginger.
I don't think so. No, she wasn't. She had dark hair, purple eyes.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I thought this looked pretty cool. Like I said, we'll see what it like. This is we talked about this before we got on the podcast. Microsoft does a really good job at showcases. They really do. Really good job at showcases, showing these games and whatever vertical slice that they show you in. It's just the delivery. The delivery on them has.
They're using her character model from Perfect Dark Zero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where she had that was the one that I was thinking of, because I hadn't played Perfect Dark until Perfect Dark Zero. That was one of the Xbox 360 launch titles.
I think so, yeah, it was. Maybe I'm thinking Cameo.
No, if you look at the original artwork, she did have blue eyes and dark hair, but that was like the very first one. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm thinking Perfect Dark Zero, which is which came out after that, obviously. So I mean, this looks cool. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game. I'm hoping that this turns out really well. Like seeing some of the elements, like some of the gameplay that they showed off as well looked really good. The gunplay looked really good. The parkour stuff looks kind of looks like it's straight out of like Mirror's Edge.
DSX vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. The funny thing is, like, I saw some people that like weren't really impressed by it, but I don't understand why you wouldn't be. There was nothing really here that like stood out that I was like, oh, that's gonna suck, or this. I don't think this game's gonna be very good.
Yeah, I think it looks good. But like I say, it's just gonna depend. Just gonna depend on the delivery. It might be a really banger. Who knows? Might be a sleeper.
Yeah, I'm hoping it is. I liked Perfect Dark, so I'm looking forward to it. And like the thing is, at the end of the day, like, you know, even though I have my disagreements or the things that I don't like about Xbox, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean I don't want good games, and it also doesn't mean I want these games to fail either.
I don't want them to fail. Yeah, for sure.
No, I want these games to be good. I hope they're good because I want more games to play.
I'm a Game Pass subscriber. I want them to put good games on the service. I mean, I'm already paying for it. Give me good games.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah. No, this is Perfect Dark's actually one that I'm looking forward to. I like those kind of universes to begin with.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? I like those like sci-fi mixed ones. I'm actually really surprised. One thing that I was hoping that we were going to end up seeing from this showcase that they didn't show. I thought that they were going to say World of Warcraft to Game Pass.
I thought there is either going to be like to Game Pass or
console in general.
Or to console. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like, how fucking crazy is that Xbox has Final Fantasy 14 that's playable, and they now own World of Warcraft, and it's not?
Right now, I think for now it's not. I think like you've brought it up before. There's just way too many add-ons that you have to have because of the way that they've designed the game.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be playable on console. Yeah, you wouldn't genuinely. Players would not be able to play on console because of how the game is currently designed today. Is there juice left in WoW at all? I think there's a lot of people that are pretty high on the fact that their original story writer's back. Right?
Give me a second.
Yeah, I think that there's I think that there's a lot of people that are generally like pretty high on the fact that they brought back their original story writer. I don't blame them. If that's the person that was telling the best stories at one point, then that's the person that you would definitely want in there that are putting everything together. He abandoned us. Yeah, I know he does that from time to time. Chat was all about WoW earlier. Right? Really? Who? Say mean things about him while he's gone. I've said more mean things about Mark than I have probably anybody else in my entire life. He must have got a delivery or something like that. There he goes. He's back. So yeah, it's just something that I definitely don't think will ever happen. Then they ended up showing off Diablo.
Dude, by far, hands down, Blizzard's best CG they've ever done.
Like, it was really good.
The faces look, especially the dude rowing the boat when it shows him like look around like that, looks fucking real. It looked real.
It's crazy that they don't do like animated movies. I have no idea why they don't just like have their animators work on movies and shit like that. I would.
The part when Mephisto has her hands on her face, and then like it pulls her arms apart and her legs apart on the. Oh my god, that is so brutal looking.
You know, my problem is though when I watch this is that like I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what kind of sucks about Diablo is that like why is it that specifically the intro trailer into the game and the intro trailer now into the DLC go harder than any other cinematic that they have at all, and also go far harder than the actual like narrative of the game as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Mark, what's the most brutal thing that, like, when I think back and I'm like, what's the most, like, brutal metal thing that happened from Diablo 4? I immediately think back to when they summoned Lilith in the first place.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That first trailer where they go up on the pillars and the blood shoots out of their chest and then she comes down, and she basically, like, uses...
wings out.
Yeah, she uses their blood as, like, a gown, basically, right? That's, like, how she's reborn. That's the portal they use to come back. And then now I'm sitting here, and then I didn't really see anything past that was really ever like that brutal. You know what I mean? Like there's the, I guess there was the one guy that got like but he got like a soul shard stabbed into his head, I think.
Yeah, about to rip
But like even that was like, okay, you know, like that was like there's nothing really crazy going on here. You know what I mean? And then like now they're doing this, and like this is like fucking metal. This is so sick. But then at the same time,
oh my god.
Yeah, but then at the exact same time, like we're never gonna see, like chances are we're never gonna see anything like this cool or brutal in the game, like in the actual game itself.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean?
Like
it's
the
so
only
weird.
reason I'm going to play this game is because I enjoyed the story of Diablo 4 and I want to carry it on. But yeah, like that looks.
Oh, what are you talking about? I'm gonna play it because I actually enjoy Diablo.
Yeah, well.
No, I'm serious. I played the latest season. It's good, Mark.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. But I'm going to be honest with you. Like, they've done a good job. Okay, whatever.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, they have. I started playing it. It's not terrible. They made a lot of good improvements. But it still runs into the same problem of it. You're still kind of running the same loop of shit to do.
I mean, to be fair, that's just basically what a lot of JRPGs are.
Yeah.
Until they've grown to the point where they have enough content to be able to, you know. Yeah. But I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, this was
more of a systems update than it was like a gameplay update.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that they've added to the game since you and I have played. Because realistically, we haven't played since season 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
like we haven't. So for us coming back to it after not playing the game since season 1. There's a whole list of like Uber bosses, and then that's pretty much it. Actually, it's just the Uber bosses and the changes that they made to the game. Oh, and the pit, which is literally just. I just love the fact that they just went back to Diablo 3.
Yeah,
there's some people that really didn't like. There's some people that really didn't like the comment that I made that Diablo 4 just needed to take its Scooby-Doo mask off and reveal that it was actually just Diablo 3 in disguise.
It's old man Smithers.
Yeah, it's always been Diablo 3. It's always been Diablo 3. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, great cinematic. I can't wait for Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred to come out and then undo all of the good work that they've done up into this point, fixing the game and getting it ready for its 1.0 release.
Watch they left all the fucking
now that the Diablo beta is over and we are now in full 1.0 of Diablo 4 and the game is pretty decent to play. It's not too bad. Then they're going to put out an expansion, and we're just going to start this whole fucking thing all over again.
I don't know. That CG that they did was fire, though. I can't deny it. It was absolute fire.
And then after Diablo 4, they showed the game that you're looking forward to the absolute most, which is
Troglodyte 4.
Yeah, and Fable.
Yes.
Probably.
Actually, was what's his name? Is it Tim Roth?
Yeah.
Is that who that
Tim
is?
Roth. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. I thought it was got it from the voice. It's like his eyes are right, but here's
the thing. The fucking voice acting they got is fucking top tier.
Oh, top tier.
Here's the thing. People are talking shit. I fucking get it. I think, yes, the character looks fucking cringe, but there's going to be a character creator. I hope to fucking God there's a character creator. And if that's the case, then I mean, like what we've already been seeing so far,
this game looks fucking dope.
It looks like it might actually be pretty good. And like because what we're seeing here, even though this looks like it's a cutscene, I think these are actually like dialogues.
Yeah,
like not this maybe. Like some of this is cutscenes, but like if this is how the game actually looks, I mean, we're in for a visual treat. Now, whether or not the game mechanically is going to be good, or narratively is going to be good, or in combat is going to be good. I mean, that's remained to be seen. We haven't seen any of the combat for this game at all yet, right?
So I think their last trailer, when she was against the giant, remember that trailer?
Yeah, I mean that was like a little bit though. Like we need to see like this is that her running around through like
Yeah.
So like I think that the character animations look good. The custom Like the cutscenes look good. I think the art style is pretty solid. I think the world design looks really good. The monster design and stuff like that is sick. I would just really like to see some actual gameplay from like there's a little hint of they just do like little hints like finishers. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't want to see finishers, man. I need to see like what does the character look like swinging the sword? How does the character use spells? How does the character use a bow? What do fights actually look like in this game? Because that's probably one of the things that I'm the most concerned with, since this is a developer that doesn't have that much experience with that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I love Fable. I have since the very first one, and so I am truly looking forward to this game. And I see people in the chat. It's like, is that the face that y'all are talking about? I'm sorry if you think it's fine. I'm making a joke. It's satire. It's okay. But yeah, no, I think the game looks amazing. I think if they pull this off, it'll be one of those ones that where I'll have to eat my hat on the whole. They gave a RPG franchise to a car maker franchise.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
If they pull this off, I don't even know what to say. I
have to eat my hat on it. So
if they pull it off and Fable ends up being really good, like it's definitely a tip your hat situation, because you have a developer that I don't think has made anything else other than racing games.
Yeah, no, that's it.
And turns around and takes like a beloved franchise and makes a game that actually is good. We'll see. I mean, it'd be really. I'm hoping for it. I'm cheering it on. Go for it, man. I hope they make it.
Oh, okay.
I hope it's a banger.
All I'm saying is she's supposed to have 2 eyebrows. All right, she just doesn't. So,
but yeah, we'll see. Then they ended up showing off a little bit of Indiana Jones.
Yes, they did. I'm actually kind of like, I was very cold on this game, like very, very cold on this game until I watched this cutscene or this part of the story mission scene that they did, and it is so much like the 80s movies.
It is, yeah.
That I'm like, holy shit, I want to play this game.
Yeah,
I want to play this
actually,
game now.
So I was very, very cold on the game as well. When we first saw like the gameplay reveal trailer, and it's like first person, kind of reminded me of like Myst or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like puzzle solving.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like combat. So initially I was kind of like, but I think that this is one of those games that it may not be about the gameplay, and it's going to be more about the narrative. And I mean, it just straight up looks like an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It just looks like it looks like an interactive Indiana Jones movie, and I'm fucking here for it. Honestly,
whoever they got to
love
do
Indiana Jones.
Young Indiana Jones's voice is doing a very good job of sounding like a young Harrison Ford.
I don't want to play the game. I want to watch somebody stream the game. Yeah, I think this is actually going to be a really good stream game, because really you'll be able to like kind of like watch somebody play it rather than have to like play it yourself. I think that's true.
They even made
this being a really good stream game. Yeah,
like the punch sounds, like in the Indiana Jones movies, it sounds like you're getting hit with like a wet steak. Yeah, I mean they added that to like it's just cool, man.
I love how corny the villain is.
Oh my god, yeah, and he's like, oh look at me with your toot with your cartoons, toot.
Yeah. Like you Americans with your toot, your piss for beer.
Narrow-minded Americans.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I think it looks that's it, man. I was actually really impressed by this. This trailer actually kind of flipped me. I really liked it a lot. I'm really excited for it. I think it's actually
I thought the villain looked like I've got Bradley Cooper at home. That's what he looked like.
God. Yeah, a little bit maybe. Let me skim a little bit more. Oh, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh my god.
How about some Assassin's Creed Shadows? The other game that I'm really looking forward to, because I didn't play the first one and I've heard nothing but good things about it, is Stalker 2.
Yes. Did they, like, chat might know. I think it's was it Silver or something? They make the Metro games. It gives me that Metro vibe, but with just like a different story. Like just the atmosphere, but that just might be that is probably more or less have to do with the locale.
Well, I mean, they're kind of a similar thing,
similar,
right? Yeah. They're kind of a similar like not narrative, but universe kind of thing, I guess.
I wish I could speak Russian, man.
Why?
Just because it sounds like super tough. Like no matter what you say in it, it just sounds super tough.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no like. like just like super, like soft Russian voice. You sound super tough. Even the ladies sound super tough.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I really like this, like, because there's RPG elements, there's like I think there's even some like looter shooter-esque elements as well. There's all kinds of different stuff. And like the visuals, like I actually like really dig in general.
Yeah.
It actually kind of like
Looks pretty
visually
good.
reminds me a little bit like of Escape from Tarkov, actually.
Yeah, I can get that. I get that.
Yeah, yeah, but it looks really good. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this one a lot, actually.
Yeah, if it was
I didn't play
Metro,
the
all
first
the guns,
one, but I've heard a lot of good things about the first one.
all the guns would be made out of like bubble gum and paper clips if it was Metro.
Yeah,
Like you got like a Folgers coffee can as your,
silencer.
Yeah, as your silencer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, overall, this one looks like it's coming together really well. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'll definitely end up playing this one for sure.
I think it's September was what they said. That's what I like about this showcase as well, is a lot of games showed their dates.
And a lot of them are coming soon.
Yeah, soon, like this year. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are coming very, very soon. So I'm looking forward to that.
September 5th. Wow.
Yeah.
Space Marine.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Didn't they show Space Marine during the showcase? I think they did.
No, they showed it during Summer Game Show, I think. They didn't show it during this. They showed it during Summer Game Show.
Because they showed the real Space Marine.
And then finally, the very last, saving the best for last, the last world premiere. They're bringing back Gears of War, baby.
Dude, like,
and they're not just bringing back Gears of War, they're bringing back the Gears of War. They're going back to E-Day.
Dumb.
Marcus. Maria.
Maria. Oh, Jesus.
Man. I actually, I fucking love Gears of War.
I love
the universe. I love the characters. I've loved the series as long as I can remember. It's one of my favorite games ever. It's one of the only games that I've like really ever super hardcore got into. Like it's not like it's competitive scene, but like we played multiplayer for like years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like
a religion.
And no, this isn't remaster. This is the E-Day story.
Yeah. So they're doing a prequel.
Yeah, they're doing a prequel. I would love it if this is the reboot to the entire franchise. Don't get me wrong, I would like to see where they were going to go with the Kate story.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. But
I just don't think Kate and her story resonated with the Gears audience.
I think Kate did. I don't think JD and the other kid did.
Oh, okay.
And then in the end of Gears 5, they really put themselves in a pickle narratively, because you have to choose between the two. Like one of them's going to die. You have to choose one.
Oh, and that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And at that point, like, how do you canon wise do another game right afterward? I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how the coalition handles that. But
yeah,
dude, seeing Dom, dude, made me so happy. Look, the whole city's there, but it's not crumbled and holes everywhere. Man, it's gonna be dope.
Did they ever do the Pendulum Wars?
No. Oh, well,
I thought they did. Or was it like a flashback or something like that?
Day.
Maybe?
Judgment Day had flashbacks of the Pendulum Wars.
That's what it was. That's what I was remembering. I was like, I'm trying to remember where. Like, did we ever have anything to do with that? I can't remember if we did or not.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's gonna be really cool. I don't know if they're gonna do like a full on reboot for Gears of War or whatever they're gonna plan on doing, but it's gonna be cool to like go back and play with, get the boys back together kind of situation. You know what I mean? Because it'll be Dom and it'll be Baird and it'll be Coltrane and Marcus Phoenix, and everybody's all back together, and we'll probably watch a bunch of Carmines die.
Yeah. All the Carmines are back now. So that's good.
Yeah.
No, did you hear that did you hear when you're watching it that they did like the last like 10 or 15 notes of Mad World from yeah, dude, that gave me goosies.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to Gears. I think that's gonna be a good one. That's definitely a It's the one. I mean, it's not the one. It's like Gears is one of the ones that they still at least have going for them. I just don't think that Halo resonates the same way it used to anymore.
No. At this point, they need to reboot Halo and try to find a new audience for it, because the audience that, I mean, shit. How old was I when that game came out? Was that 2002?
Yeah, at this point, I would do a Halo 1 remake, and I would have it made by a different studio. I'd have it made by one of the Activision studios.
Yeah, 100%.
That's honestly what I would do. At least they know how to make gunplay feel good. You know what I mean?
Give it to id. Let them do it.
Yeah, that's actually not bad either. Yeah, id could probably do a pretty decent job as well, actually. It kind of suits them a little bit better, too, narratively as well, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Putting it under a Bethesda banner rather than Activision one.
Dude,
I don't trust Coalition. I hope Gears is back, but I'm not jumping on the hype train. Why wouldn't you trust I think Coalition's done a great job. I think not every single one of their games have been perfect, but
no.
I mean, comparatively, they've done a hell of a lot better than 343's done with Halo.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, on the technical side of things, they've killed it. The Coalition has absolutely killed it technically. I get where you're coming from though, narratively. Like that's what we were talking about at the beginning. Yeah. Like narratively, I get it. I think narratively things have been rocky since Gears 3, but I mean the gameplay overall has done really good. I mean the gameplay is great. They're like the things that they ended up changing with like horde mode and stuff like that just got better and better. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just that wet, sickening shotgun blast a head off sound is so good. That's so good.
I just like the pops.
It's good.
You hear like the pop and the crack at the exact same time. It's so good. So good.
Someone asked the Hogwarts Legacy situation. Yeah. It's a situation.
What about it?
Just kidding. I don't know. They just Hogwarts Legacy situation. I don't know. It was just a weird deal.
He's
talking about the Suicide Squad crew going over there from Rocksteady.
No. I think what he might be talking about is like a studio that doesn't have experience making a certain kind of game, making a different kind of game. Because that was Avalanche, right? So Avalanche made
that's true.
Made Harry Potter, but they haven't made a game like that before, right? Or they made Hogwarts Legacy, but they never made a game like that before.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is when we are getting closer to the end of the show. This is your guys' opportunity to be able to ask us any questions. If you guys have any questions you want to bring up, anything we didn't cover today, you guys can feel free to do that right now. You can @Legendary Drops, and we will see it pop up in chat, and we will answer those questions as they come in. I did see somebody over on Twitch ask whether or not I've put a date for Angels of the Zariman yet. I think that'll probably be Wednesday. What did you guys think of the new Dragon Age vibe? We talked about that earlier. Personally, I think I don't actually have a problem with the vibe that it gives off or the theme that they're going for. I don't have any issue with that. What I see is two problems that are coming as a result of that. One, that it's not going to resonate with the original Dragon Age audience, and they're going in a different direction. They're going away from their original audience. The other issue that I have, or the other issue that I think is going to probably play or rear its ugly head, is that I think that they ended up switching the game narratively and maybe even mechanically midway through development to pivot it to be more like Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves, because that's the kind of vibes that I got from the trailer. And once you hear that, you can't unsee it.
Water is acidic. This Mark guy is super cool. Have you considered having him on the podcast more?
No, this is probably going to be the last time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's super upset about the magazine prank. So
yeah. What game do you wish you had seen showcased that you have not?
I would like to see actual, like, so what is that game? It's something Midnight. Yeah, South of Midnight. So they actually showed like gameplay, like her walking, trying to, and then doing stuff. I wish I could see some of that like in a longer segment for Black Myth, because I still kind of think that I'm not saying it's the day, the day before, but I'm thinking like technically I think that game's not going to run super great on everything. It just looks like super like.
I wish that they would have showcased Fable. I wanted to see like actual gameplay from it. I feel like I feel like they've been talking about it for long enough for us not to have seen anything gameplay wise. Is really fucking weird.
It is weird.
It's weird.
It is pretty weird. But they're saying it's coming out in 25, so I imagine we're gonna see it next winter, January, February.
Yeah.
I guess.
At Legendary Drops, now that you've seen Ordis with a body, will you be getting his skin for your Sentinels? Skin for my Sentinels? I don't know what my Sentinels are.
Those are your, like the cube, your little things you can have following you around.
Oh, I already have that.
Cat.
Yeah, I already have that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Speaking of
companions.
Speaking of
Companions. Yeah.
We didn't get to talk about this. Who did you choose? Of the three, did you choose Margulis? Did you choose?
Oh my god! My god! People got so parasocial over this, dude. Yeah. It was so weird. It was so weird. So like, for one, like I think that people kind of forget that they're watching a streamer sometimes. So like I'm obviously gonna do stuff to like try to be funny and be entertaining and play things up from time to time. And a bunch of people got weird about it because I picked Margulis, and I made the joke where I was just like, it's like, how could I not pick this? Like joking around, and you see people that are like, somebody wrote this fucking comment that is like, I've been following your journey this entire time, and I've loved everything up until this point, but I was so disappointed that you just went with the most baseline choice of picking Margulis. And if you only knew that Margulis is actually the embodiment of her suffering and her abuse, and you picked her instead.
I judge people who didn't pick her.
I was sitting there and I was like, holy. Okay. I'm like, I picked her because I thought she looked cool. And I also picked her because she was the one that picked us to begin with.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't for her, the Tenno wouldn't even exist in the first place. So I thought picking the original would be the cool thing to do.
I thought the one that just didn't have a robot voice would be cool.
I wasn't sitting. I wasn't sitting there. I wasn't sitting there fucking thinking about everything from her perspective, and I am sorry for that. I don't know what else to say. Like it was just, and I saw like a few. I had to ban a few people in the comment section because of it, because I was just like, dude, this is so weird. I don't want to have any part of this kind of shit. I mean, if you're gonna be like that parasocial with me, I'd fucking get the fuck out of here, man. I even saw somebody that said, I really thought I knew you. And I'm like...
Pella the Hero asks, what do you guys think ever happened to Everwild? Everwild is that game that they showed from... I think it's Rare that makes it. That's working on it. I don't know. It looks, I mean, I know they have enough people to split the teams because now that Sea of Thieves actually has a larger audience now that it's on PlayStation. They're working on stuff for that, but it's not ready yet. I don't think it's ready to be shown, and that's just where I think it's at. Phil Spencer, the human thumb himself, has come out and said that they show games too early. So,
yeah.
oh my god.
I have to remember I gotta play next week. I gotta play that maybe I'll stream it. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream playing that Wayfinder. The developer sent it to me. They want me to check it out.
I'm gonna watch you play it. That way I can decide if I want to get it.
So I'll be transparent. One of the things that I feel like one of the things that feels like odd as a creator for me right now is that, like, I'm playing Warframe, and I have a relatively positive perception of digital extremes. And one of the things that I've noticed is that, like, with the people with Wayfinder, is that, like, the whole conversation around that is like DE bad. And I'm like, I don't know the whole fucking story. I can't say that. You know what I mean? Like if people have brought it up, I'm like, I don't know the whole story behind that. I can't just be like, oh, well, DE dropped them as a publisher. Like, that sucks. And DE also dropped their entire publishing wing, though. So, like, that says there's something else that's going on. Like, to the point where they were apparently losing so much money that they wouldn't even have been able to support the game even if they didn't pull out. You know what I mean? Like, who knows how much money they would have lost or what other problems that they would have been in. Are they supposed to, like, just suck it up and put the game out, even if they think the game wasn't a product that was going to be worth, or the product wasn't going to be able to, like, return on the investment for them as a publisher? Like the amount of shit that you have to, like, try to put together, the amount of resources that you need to be able to make that shit float is going to be tough. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I don't know. That's just one of the reasons. It's an odd conflict. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you know what I thought was weird about this whole showcase? All of it was when Sam Lake came out to talk about the DLC for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
That game has still not made its money back.
Yeah. But they're putting out a physical edition. You know what the thing is that, like, the problem is that, like, when we have that kind of conversation, Mark, is that, like, so do you think that they should never made it?
Do I think they should have never made it?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they should have made it exclusive to a Epic platform.
Do you really think that's the reason why it's not selling?
Yes.
Really?
I do. I think that that cut into it. Don't get me wrong, the game as niche as it is.
Yeah.
They did overmarket it. But
they definitely overmarketed it.
You overmarket it, and it's a niche title, and then you divide the community on it. Yeah, you're not going to sell well.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll agree with all that. It's one of those things where it's like sometimes the conversation gets a little muddied, where, you know, people are like, bad game because of, you know, bad sales sometimes. You know what I mean? But no, you're absolutely right. I think that man.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what the funny thing is? It's not even like but you what if they released it only on Steam and not Epic?
I mean, hey, Epic, you want to pay them for us to make this game? Okay, well, we're only going on Steam.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, the thing is that you're like, I think it hurt them by making it exclusive to Epic, but it's like, you know, when you're talking about trying to make the game more available to more players regardless of platform. But if it was locked to Steam, I don't think people would even make that argument anymore. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Is that funny how that works? Where it's like, somehow we view just being on Steam as a you know, as the more inclusive way to be able to play a game.
It is.
Yeah, just like, because more people are on Steam. That's all it is.
More people are on Steam. It's way more user friendly. It has, like, Epic's terrible.
I don't use Epic because Epic uses too much resources for its store for some reason, and I don't understand why.
I don't understand
my
why.
Computer, my RAM, like, it uses more RAM, like, it uses more RAM and processing power in the background, and I don't know why.
I go over there to see what the free game is. I go over there to see what the free game is. I close it out. I close the fucking app. I go to start Steam up, and then over here on the side, I get these notifications from the Epic store. Like, hey, come check this game out. All your friends are playing this. I have no friends on the Epic, none. But all my friends are playing these games.
Do you really? You don't have any friends on Epic?
No.
I
don't have any friends anywhere, really.
You want me to download it so I can add you?
I guess.
Would that make you feel better?
No.
I noticed there was, like, hair coming out of the grating on the top of my PC. It was, like, bothering the shit out of me. I'm gonna eyeball this bitch real quick.
You better not leave that off. You better not leave that off too long. Maddie's gonna climb in there and go to sleep. All right, let's see if we got any more questions. Let's see.
Clean.
Nope, everyone just hates Epic. Got it.
Okay. So that is it for the show today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Tomorrow I'm recording and chilling and vibing and doing that kind of thing, getting ready for a video that I'll post on Tuesday. Tuesday I stream, Wednesday I stream, Thursday I record. I put up a schedule. I'm gonna try to do my best to stick to it. Obviously, sometimes it's gonna have to. I'll move days just because I have to, because there's some, like, news or something like that hits. You know, I have to hit it when I gotta hit it. But
Yep.
Angels of the Zariman next week. That'll be on Wednesday most likely, and then we'll go from there.
And you're streaming right after this, right? What are you streaming?
I'm not streaming anything after this now.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were.
No.
Oh, you're a liar. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I do. I lie.
Yep.
Every day.
You're so dishonest.
Yep. Make sure you guys like the stream, like the video if you guys are on YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in on Twitch. I will see you guys on Tuesday. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I hope you guys have a great Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday night, and then you'll see me the next day, and then everything will be better in your life. So until then, my friends, stay cool, stay righteous, stay safe, and I will see you next time.